Hello friends, welcome to beautiful Dublin, Ohio. It's fall time, the leaves are changing. It's really beautiful here. I wanted to tell you a story about this area. Back in 1795, the Treaty of Greenville was signed. That was a treaty that separated the land of Ohio into places where settlers could live and places where Indians could live. It didn't go over so well for the Indians. The United States took advantage of the Indians in pretty major ways, were very destructive, and it led to a lot of death on the Indians' part and on the part of the settlers. I'm here with my friends Paul and Kim too. We're spending the day exploring. One of the Indian chiefs of the Wyandot Indians was a proponent of this treaty. So he wanted to see the Indians get along with all the white people, and didn't really go over so well with the rest of his tribe and some of the other tribes around it. So some of the other Indian tribes, like the Iroquois and the Shawnee and others, formed this alliance against the United States government and the white man, except for some people. It's very loud here. We're right on Riverside Drive. It's a very busy roadway. A lot of these Indians did not like this, that some of the Indians were getting along with the white people and wanted to see things get better with them. They just wanted to keep their land. Well, one of the Indians that wanted to make things work was Leatherlips. He went by other names too, but we all know him as Leatherlips. And here on this spot is within eyeshot of the location of where he was murdered. He was killed by a tomahawk. Here's a monument to him. This monument was put here in 1889 by the Wyandot Club of Columbus, signifying that this is the spot where Leatherlips was murdered. John Sells is the name of the founder of Dublin, Ohio. It's a beautiful town now. It's well known for its famous golf tournament. They have the Memorial Golf Tournament is here every year. And some say that Leatherlips here stays active in the community by making it rain every year during that tournament. It's called the Curse of Leatherlips. The golf course was built on sacred Wyandot land, and he didn't like that so much. But there is another legend that right here at his place of death, on the date of his death, June 1st, every year, he can be seen rising up from the ground and walking around the banks of the river that's just over here across busy Riverside Drive. I'm assuming that this stone wall is kind of torn down in spots because of large tree growth and age. It was built at the same time as the monument back in the late 1800s. This type of stone wall is pretty common around here. You see it in some places around the area, especially here in the Dublin area. It's an older part of the Columbus suburbia land. You see a lot of this. If you'd like to check out the monument to Leatherlips, it's here on Riverside Drive and Stratford Road in Dublin. Pretty dangerous walkway to get to it, but there is a path that we came up on that I think it's in someone's private landscape. They've made it accessible, so you don't have to do what I just did and walk out on the busy street. Just look for the Wedgwood signs, and it's right back behind that landscape. The story goes that John Sells himself was here to witness the death of his friend Leatherlips, and he was killed by the tomahawk. The tradition was that those that were going to die would dress up in death clothes. They would wear their best clothing, and they sang these death chants to get prepared for it. And that's what happened. And John Sells was there to watch the whole thing happen, and he was pleading with the Indians, bribed them to, he said, actually, let's tear up the Greenville Treaty. We won't go through with it if you let my friend go. Well, they weren't having anything to do with it. They wanted to keep their land, and they just chopped him several times to death. Had to have been a terrible scene. Happened right there. Paul and Kim and I were reading this story a little earlier, and he just reminded me they were using the excuse of Leatherlips being a witch and practicing witchcraft for some reason. It was just a way to avoid the actual reason why they were killing him was completely political. So they used some kind of a excuse, said that he was doing something weird and needed to be gone. Our next stop to pay our respects to Chief Leatherlips is Scioto Park. Check this out, I found something interesting here. I thought these were all gone. Pretty much this one is gone. For those of you that don't know, that's a telephone, and you used to put change in it and then you can call people. Chief Leatherlips was called Leatherlips because he was so trustworthy. Whatever he was told, people knew that he would never repeat that information. He was known to be a man of high honor, and everyone loved him and trusted him. So that's where his name came from. One sad part about this story is that his own brother led the group of Indians that would eventually take his life. He was on the other side of the matter and did not want to take part in anything to do with the white man and what they wanted. No sharing of the land. So he made sure that his brother was taken out of the picture. His brother being this guy, Leatherlips himself. Just a few steps away from the Leatherlips monument is this QR code. You could listen to the description of it right here. There's a nice description of the monument. It was dedicated here in 1990 on July 1st. It's made by Ralph Helmlich. It's 11-foot high limestone portrait of the man. Good friend to the Indian and white man alike, to the Wyandots. Chief Leatherlips was called Shati-Yarona, which means same size as blue. In later years, he was called Sucha-Teses, which means long gray hair. He was given the name Leatherlips by the white settlers in this area. They called him this because of his admirable trait of never breaking a promise. Way to go, Leatherlips. I grew up very close to here, about 20 minutes away. This is the land that I'm used to. I've seen a lot of this stuff over the years, and I knew about some of the Indian history, but I've never really dove into it and tried to learn the details and stories like old Leatherlips back here. I knew about the Shawnee, but I don't know all the names. I know Tecumseh, but I just haven't spent a lot of time getting to know that kind of history, and to me it's becoming more interesting. I especially like this story of Leatherlips. What a weird name, huh? Weird, kind of cool. It was cool to them, I guess. Weird Leatherlips. I don't know if I would like to be called Leatherlips, but who knows? Guess you don't get to choose that, right? No. What do you think your Indian name would be, Kim?
Oh, I don't know. With the wind, willow wind.
Willow wind.
I just like those trees a lot.
Yeah, those trees are nice.
They have nice sound, nice movement.
Yeah.
They love water. Me too.
Yeah. I'd be a big pink bird.
Okay.
I like flamingos.
And thunderlips. Oh, not thunderlips. Not thunderlips.
Thunderlips.
Leatherlips.
No.
No, never mind.
Thunderlips
I'm
could be good too.
thunderlip.
That might be a different trait.
That'd be cool if you could make thunder with your mouth like that.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
You would definitely be called Thunderlips then.
Yeah. Boom.
Right next to the monument is this seating area and a small stage. I've seen a few bands up here many years ago. I think the last band I saw here was New Basics Brass Band. They're one of my favorite local bands to the Columbus area. Look them up if you so desire. They're good. What is this? Take an art break. Whoa!
Little flyers, crayons. So what do you do?
People are drawing.
Oh yeah, Apollo.
Okay. So
Greetings from Cleveland.
that's neat.
And a little
Face.
dude.
All right.
I like it.
I love that idea. I see those book boxes like that, the little tiny libraries, but a tiny art break box just on the side of the street is a great idea. Love it. It's a nice park. Hey, turtle.
Hello?
Paul was reminding me here that
Go down the hill?
the ghost of Leatherlips is seen walking down the banks of this part of the river. I haven't seen any sign of Leatherlips yet, but it's a beautiful day out here. Nice day to enjoy the peaceful scenery. The old Scioto River. Beautiful. Some nice houses up there too. Can't hardly see them. Hidden in the woods. Before I moved to Florida, I had a kayak. I bring it out here on Wednesday mornings, very early, 6 a.m. call time on the water. Sometimes meet some friends out here. Saw a lot of wildlife. It's so peaceful, all times of year, especially this time of year. Love the fall. Found some shells right here on the side of the bank. Paul found them. Florida's not the only place to find shells. Have you guys ever found an arrowhead?
No, but that's what I was trying to find.
I've never found an arrowhead. A lot of friends around here, growing up, they'd find arrowheads in the field or whatever. I have never found one. Always wanted to. Scioto Park is a nice place to come out and meet your friends to knit or walk around. Pay your respects to old Leatherlips. Just enjoy a nice sunny day in Dublin, Ohio. If you have young ones, they can play in the playground area or play some volleyball over there. Or if you want to play in the playground area, there it is. Plenty of space. Thanks for joining me today, friends, here in beautiful Dublin, Ohio, on this amazing fall day to pay our respects to Leatherlips, one of Ohio's founding fathers, you might say, in a way. He did a lot to help the relations between the settlers and the Indians in the early days of Ohio. And before Ohio became a state in 1803, and he was killed in 1810. So, during that time, a lot was going on in the lands here. A lot of struggles, a lot of bad things, and a lot of good things. Among those, the influence of Leatherlips. Thanks for joining me today, friends. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video. Just noticed this on the inside of the telephone booth.